Okay, Steve, is build up to big game 14 this week. You're playing at Twickenham Stadium. Is there a different buzz around the camp? Are people excited for the occasion, or are you treating it like a normal match week?
We are treating it like a normal match week, but I think there is a bit of a natural buzz around it, just because we know we are at Twickenham and it's, you know, it's an iconic stadium, and you might only get one chance in your lifetime to play there. So we haven't talked it up or talked about it in any great detail with the girls, because I don't think we need to, because I think they're all conscious of who we're playing, where we're playing. So yeah, we're embracing it, and we're going to try and thrive in that environment, but it's not been a topic of conversation in terms of meetings with the players.
The match on the weekend, I mean, it was another good win. I got the sense there's maybe a little bit of frustration at the performance. Set piece was probably, again, not quite where you'd want it to be. Are you putting any extra focus on that at the moment, or do you think the players understand where they
I think when we did the interview after the game, that's exactly how I felt. I did feel a little bit frustrated, like the performance wasn't quite where we wanted it to be. Which is interesting, and I had this conversation with Susie on Monday. We were better when I watched it back, if that makes sense. So I think maybe it's when you take the emotion out of it and you sit and watch it in your living room on a laptop, and you think about the things that you prepped for. The performance was actually better on the Sunday in my living room than it was on the Saturday at Sandy Park. But having said that, there was things we felt we could improve on. We did have one or two issues with the line out still. Again, nothing that's not fixable. And in the grand scheme of things, actually statistically, we weren't particularly bad. We just know we can be better. So it's not a bad place to be to beat a side as good as Loughborough as well as we did, knowing that we've still got room for improvement.
The game on the weekend, I mean, it will be a real stern test. Quins will obviously be looking to lay a marker down at their marquee event for the year. What are you expecting from them? The very physical side, and I'm sure that will be a big part of the prep for you guys.
High emotion, I think, would be the first thing that's probably going to come at us. I think that first 20 minutes is probably going to be some fireworks, because both teams will be very conscious of where they are in terms of being at Twickenham. So that will lift them 10%, I would imagine, in terms of their emotional output. But even if we were playing them at the Stoop or their training ground or wherever it might be, that they are a quality side, and they are very, very powerful with their scrum, with their maul, and I think for you to compete with Quins, you have to manage that area first and foremost. They've got some unbelievable pace. When they've got players like Abby Dow and Ellie Cullen in the back three, they're gonna, if they get space on the edges, they've got the quality to expose any gaps that you give them. So we know we've got to be rock solid defensively, and we've got to score points. So I think essentially what I'm saying is we've got to be good in all areas to win this game at the weekend. Otherwise we'll probably come up a little bit short. But we have to be mindful of the fact that we're going pretty well at the moment as well. That we are a good side. Most areas of our game are functioning pretty well, and if we turn up in the right spot emotionally and we put a performance together, we are a very, very difficult side to beat.
Can I get a quick word from you on some of the international call-ups, because it's great to see Poppy's back in England setup after a little while out. Nancy's had her first call-up into the senior squad. A number of girls have been called up into the Island squad as well, Nick and Lara, etc. So that must be great to see from you as a coaching point of view, to see those.
It's amazing. I'm actually a bit disappointed there's not a couple more in a couple of in a couple of the squads, because I think some of the performances actually warrant that recognition. And I'll not mention them by name at the moment, but they obviously know who they are, and they're conscious of how good me and Susie think they are as players. But that's a slightly different issue. I think the one that probably put the biggest smile on my face was Poppy. She's been involved in that programme before, and I think if you were to ask her last week, does she ever expect to get capped by England again or even get called up, I don't think she ever did. But the thing that's got her selected is her performance, the quality of her performance. She has been exceptional. And if you play exceptional week in, week out, and you're of the right level of experience and you're of the right level of quality, then you deserve to get called up. So she fully deserves that call up. But likewise, you know, to see Tricky and Nick and Clara excuse me, get called up for Ireland, and Abby and Rob representing Wales, and then we've got the North American crew as well. You know, it shows a huge amount of diversity in our squad, but it also makes us realise how lucky we are to have this squad of players. Because even though they are so diverse and eclectic, in a weird way, it just seems to work when you put them together. So really pleased for those girls. But as I said, the one that probably put the biggest smile on my face was Poppy.
Well, we're all chuffed for them, and we're all looking forward to the match on the weekend. All the staff are coming up from the Chiefs as well, so it'll be a good day out, and we're looking forward to seeing how they go.
Yeah,
Thanks so much, Steve.
Cheers, pal.